Hello Internet, and welcome to a new tutorial. So a while ago I was experimenting with the grid in Bitwig, and I had this idea in mind of replicating the original FM algorithm from the Access virus synthesizers. This algorithm that gave us the distinct FM sound from the virus synthesizers. And while doing so, I think I've opened Bitwig's Pandora's box of FM holiness, and man, I just can't keep it for myself. I have to share it with you guys. It's just awesome, the things and the timbres that we can get with it. So in today's tutorial, I'm showing you one more reason why you should be using Bitwig and why Bitwig is awesome. And nope, I'm not sponsored by Bitwig. I've paid my license, I pay my updates. I just think this software is awesome and I can't keep this for myself. So before we dive into this tutorial, if you'd like to support the channel, you can consider becoming one of my Patreon, buy my presets on Gumroad, or just leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Content like this is posted every week and special content for my Patreons. Now, with that said, let's dive into this tutorial. So here we are in Bitwig, and let's go to Polygrid. Here's the initial patch. Basically, we have a triangle AR, basically attack release envelope, and the output device. So the original algorithm from the Access virus A was a unipolar triangle wave that FMs the second oscillator. Now, we can do so easily with Bitwig, but Bitwig gives us way more control over it than the Access virus synthesizer, which makes things pretty interesting. Let me show you. So here we have a triangle oscillator. I'm going to keep it, I'll duplicate it, and I'll choose a saw oscillator. So this oscillator will be our main output. Let's set it in here, and the triangle will modulate the saw. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to go to the shaper modules in here and take a curve module. So basically with it we can turn it to a unipolar wave. Now I know that there is a device in here that says bipolar to unipolar, but with this device we don't have the control over the shape of the wave. So that's why we're using the curve module. So basically, let me delete this. If I'll take the triangle output in here, set it to the curve, you can see in here how when I play with it, the output is different. So what I'll do, as it's a unipolar output, I'll just set the high point in here to 100%, the low point in here to set the output to 0%, and the curve, just double click it in here and it's going to reset itself to 0%. So now, if I'll take the output of the triangle oscillator in here, and I'll set it to the gate in of the sawtooth in here, basically I'll hard sync them. So now we'll get this hard sync effect. Check this out. Let me solo this one, unmute it, so we'll have this. If I'll play with the pitch, we'll get this hard sync effect. Perfect. Now both oscillators are in sync. Now I can start FMing this sawtooth. So pretty gritty. Let's take it one octave lower. Check this out. Man, this timbre. Isn't it just juicy? And we're basically just using 3 modules. Now, for sure, if I'll duplicate these 2 in here, and I'll set the FM to go directly from the triangle to the sawtooth, and if I'll take a select module in here, just like what I've done with the random sequencer tutorial, and this one will output to the AR envelope in here. First FM will go to first input, second FM will go to second input, and I'll add a button to switch between these 2 inputs. So the first one, as you've heard, sounds like this. Pretty nice. The second one sounds like this. It's okay, but it's not that interesting. So let's get back to the first. And now, here's where things get pretty interesting. Now we can start playing with the curve and get this palette of timbres that is just amazing, in my opinion. So check this out. Isn't this just awesome? Just by modulating these curves, we can get a whole palette of timbres for this FM. And things get way more interesting when we start adding more modules. So for example, let me get this back to the initial state one more time. Now, let's delete this select module in here. We don't need it anymore. Now, for example, we can go to the filters in here. And let's take one XP filter. This is my favorite filter from Bitwig. I like Bitwig's filter. They don't have the, let's say, ultimate timbre, in my opinion, but they sound pretty good, though. And especially this XP module in here, because it has these three algorithms where we have a high pass 2 poles and a low pass 1 pole in series, high pass 1 pole, low pass 2 pole, high pass 1 pole, low pass 3 pole. I love the high pass 1 pole, low pass 2 pole algorithm, and it sounds like this. Pretty cool, but now what we can do is basically we can duplicate it, and with the mixer module, the blend module, yeah, we can basically blend between these two. And I'll leave it to 50-50 because here's where things get pretty interesting. Set these filters to somewhere like 3 kilohertz or so. And if I'll take like a value module in here, this value module, I can use it as a macro to control both cutoffs. And now I've offsetted the cutoffs just a tiny bit, and I'll use the value module to modulate both cutoffs, but each cutoff will be modulated in the opposite direction from the other one. So now we'll get this. Like a fake format. And we can change the algorithm of this one using maybe the HP2 plus low pass 1. Pretty interesting, right? Now, for sure, we can add more modules, but I'll keep things simple for the tutorial. But please, when you're in your studio making some sound, just experiment, add some stuff. I don't know, comb filters, all pass filters, and yeah, just go crazy with it. But for now, let's focus on that FM again. Let's add the random sequencer from last week's tutorial. So now we have this. Pretty cool. Let me add a sample and hold module in here. This sample and hold module will modulate the cutoff that I've just added. Set it to 8th note. Maybe set it to quarter note. Pretty cool. And now I'll add a delay. I'll use Echo Boy. It's just way faster for me to work with it. Just like so. Now I'll just play with the curve and check the results that we will get with a kick and bass. And yeah, with this is the end of this tutorial. Man, I just think this thing is awesome. I mean, look at the palette of timbres that we can get just by like a simple curve module that will change the triangles, waves, shape, It's just, I think that this is awesome. And yeah, man, just go play with it, have fun, and like get all of these awesome timbres out of your simple triangle sawtooth FM. And yeah, hope you like this one. See you next time.